Hi, my name is CJ Slaughter. I work with the Talon, and this is the Talon video, men's issue, straight to you. Welcome back. I hope you enjoy. For this issue, we just wanted to do sort of a special on guys. I know the ratio here is more girls than guys, but our editor, Kobe Hauser, she chose to do a men's issue. So straight to you, here is the Talon's men's issue.
Hi, I'm Ron Slapitza. I'm president of Avila University, and I am 62 years old.
Patrick Kopp, I chair the computer science department, teach computer science courses. I am 60 years old.
My name is Richard Hardesty. I'm 57, and I've been here for 6 years.
Stanley E. Banks. I'm an assistant professor and artist in residence here at Avila University, and I teach all the creative writing classes in the English department, poetry, fiction, playwriting. I also teach African American literature and other writing courses.
Hey, my name is Bob Luter. I am officially the public relations specialist at Avila University. I take care of all public relations for the university. Basically, my job is to try to get Avila's name out in the public, in the news, any chance I get. And I am 53 years old.
My name is Dr. J. Anthony Snodgrass. I'm an associate professor. I teach advertising, strategic media, journalism in the School of Visual and Communication Arts. You want to know how old I am? I don't like to talk about that in terms of years, but I have a considerable experience. I've been around this earth for probably about 6 decades.
My name is Chris Roberts. I am the manager of campus safety here at Avila University. I am 40 years old.
I am Eric Winter. I'm an assistant professor of graphic design, and I'm 35.
Who made you the man that you are today?
Well, I believe men are made by the company that they keep. So there are people who walk with you, there are people who walk in front of you, and there are some people behind you who actually push you.
Well, I think there's a number of folks that was the case. I think it's my dad and mom for sure.
In one way, my dad, because my dad is he's retired now, but he was a wheat farmer in south central Kansas.
I would say that would be dad and grandfather, like sort of some traits handed down from them.
I'd probably have to say my father. I didn't know him very well when I was younger because he worked a lot of hours. He was quiet. He'd come home and sit down and read the newspaper. But later on, when he got a little bit older, we moved to a farm, and his whole personality changed. He became outgoing, talked to people.
My dad worked hard, always working. Just try to follow doing what he did. Just do the right thing and help everybody that you can.
And the one trait that I picked up from my dad that I really appreciate is that he was always comfortable in his own skin and comfortable with who he is. He never worried about hanging around. You know, he had a lot of friends that made a lot of money, and but he never worried about status or where he stood as far as having money or in class or anything like that. He was always comfortable with who he was and very secure in that, and that's how I've kind of lived my life.
He was the one that stressed in me how important it is to be honest and fair with people and to do a good job. His main advice to me was get into something you love to do because you're going to be doing it the rest of your life.
Ironically, it was my grandmother who was a Kansas City bootlegger.
My mother, who was there all the time for me. Anything I needed, she made me go get it. So she wasn't that kind of mother that said, oh yeah, I take care of it for you. She showed me the way to get things done.
She was one of these people. When I came along, I was like the first grandchild, and she just put everything into me. And I mean, she never whipped me, never did any of that, but she taught me around the clock, right? Told me all these great stories. I'm the writer I think that she should have been.
In a lot of different things in life, basically try to live my life by experiencing a lot of different things. Spent 5 years in the United States Army. That kind of really was a very turning point and changed my life of where I was before when I was in college prior to the Army, and kind of very drastically made changes to where I see the world now.
My first grade school football coach certainly taught me a bit about life. I think there was coaches throughout my life that taught me about that.
John Wilson. Now, John Wilson was the director of the Birmingham area office, and he saw in me a young guy just coming into the industry, and he said, "You want to work? I'm going to give you the opportunity to showcase your skills." And I've always been ingratiated to him for that opportunity to really jump in and show what I've got.
There was a few other people, head of a scholarship program, and also one of my first mentors when I was at the University of Maryland.
But I don't stop there either, because I look into the media world and other people who have become somewhat models. I don't want to say idols, but they were people who I looked to and how they handled things in the world. One was Paul Robeson. Another was Arthur Ashe. Another is Gordon Parks. Another is Muhammad Ali. Now I looked to them because they had a public stature, and all of them were able to take that public stature and make it meaningful in relationship, and they followed what they believed. Now, the other thing to mention about all four of those people is that none of them were afraid to fail. They took a chance. They took the risk. And because of that failure, I think they all became stronger. So I am not afraid of failure, and I have failed many times in my life and hope to fail a lot more, because that failure becomes the foundation for success.
Do you have any advice to give to the young men who will be transitioning into manhood roles today?
Yeah, I got a lot of advice.
One key factor as you get older is responsibility.
I think to be yourself.
Foremost in my mind is treat people well.
I keep it simple. The first thing a young man has got to do is you got to find a passion. You got to find something that you truly enjoy doing, and then you're willing to sacrifice to do it.
The first thing would be get your schooling, your education, right?
As young men, we often go off of what we want to do at that moment, but as we get older, it becomes more a factor of taking responsibility for your actions.
Learn to respect people. It's one of the things I noticed a lot these days is that especially younger kids don't have any respect for people. They don't have respect for material goods either, meaning they're constantly, they buy things and discard.
You'll notice that, and you'll realize this when you get older, that if you don't treat people well, no matter how successful you are, no matter what you do, how much money you make, where you live, anything, it'll always come back to haunt you. If you don't treat people well, it will always come back to you in some way, some form or fashion. So I'd say always treat people well.
Learn how to know who your friends are, your real friends. Know when, you got to develop a sense that a thing is either wrong or right. And, you can only learn that by mistakes. But after a while, you got to stop committing the same mistakes, right? Because at some point, as an African American, your mistakes will ruin you for life.
And like I said, I was shaped by my father and grandfather, and I don't know that you should necessarily let them shape you. So follow your interest, go with your passion.
The second thing I need you to do is to listen. Listen to the community and those around you. Strangely enough, they'll tell you certain things. They start telling you what you're good at, if you listen.
Do what you say, and say what you do, I think. Just try to do the best you can do.
As a black male, somebody who is seen as suspicious, seen as somebody who's scary. And my grandmother would always tell me, you got to go and prove people wrong.
always be honest, and yeah, just be yourself and be honest, and just live the good life.
I think part of the issue in life is finding who you are and who you're capable of being. And too often we don't believe enough in ourselves and surround ourselves with people who believe in us so that we really discover the person who we're capable of being.
Basically looking to the future, looking one step ahead of where you are, a little less of living in the moment, and as we get older I think it's more of a factor of looking forward to the future, being prepared for what's going to happen, basically being a step ahead of where you are now.
Seek out. Don't be afraid to seek out older males. A lot of us are just waiting to talk to you, you know. Would love to talk to you, whether you call that mentorship or not.
And they don't know what is important. Put money into your education. That's an investment. Buying a car is, I'm trying to think how to word it. A car depreciates the minute you take it off the lot, and it loses money as it ages. And education only makes things improve.
Third thing, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to take a chance. This world is not about fitting in necessarily. The people who are truly successful are those who are willing to take a shot at being different.
And so what I would say is find people who believe in you and surround yourself with them, and then pursue higher goals.
And you can't give up hope. You can never give up hope. It can get dark, you can get down, but you can't give up hope, man.
All right, that was what a couple men thought. We'll take a quick break, give you a special, see what the students and maybe one faculty member thought. The Latin term estovir translates into English word for word and be the man. The actual translation is be a man. What does it take to be a man?
What does it take to be a man?
Yes, I want a woman's perspective of this.
Okay.
What does it take to be a man? Already on you.
Just answer now.
To be a man.
That's for you.
No. It's specifically for the three of you because one day I did boys, and then I did girls, and then I'm doing boys and girls.
Okay, so what does it take to be a man?
Correct.
Man, that's a big question to put me on the spot with.
I know.
This could be a whole day-long debate.
You're okay. Go ahead, get some drink.
No habla English.
Just go ahead, man. What does it take to be a man or a good man? Qualities of a good man.
Bro, what it take? Why'd you ask the light skin?
I asked both of them.
Oh, come on, bro. What do it take, man? I would say. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna start again.
If you got a kid, take care of your kids.
You got hair on your chest, you a man.
Nah, that's whack.
Integrity, being honest with yourself.
Growing up, putting away the childish things that you usually do when you were a boy.
Mainly, you just have to be a provider. Like, what I look for in a man, I want him to be a gentleman, respectful.
I think that all men should respect all life equally. I don't think we should waste, and I don't think we should be excess users like we already are, especially in this country.
To be a man, it takes more on the inside than it does on the outside. It takes honesty and integrity a lot more than just muscles and stuff.
To provide. Maturing in your mind to start off, and then once you do that, the rest of your actions will come along with that.
Respect for himself.
You have to be responsible. I don't know. Somebody who not a felon, I guess. Yeah.
So felons can't be men?
I mean, they already messed up the first time, so like.
We're like a repeated offender.
Like a repeated offender. If you somebody like that who constantly in and out of jail, then I mean, you basically still a child because you have no responsibility whatsoever.
Taking care of yourself and your family.
Handling responsibilities.
Strong and be willing to make mistakes. All guys have that. I feel like they have that outlook of, I can't make mistakes and I can't fall down and mess up. They always have to be strong, but I think it takes a great man to fall down and make mistakes and get back up and say, oh, yeah, I did that. I made a mistake, but I'm going to get back up.
Being able to provide for yourself. Things like that.
See? Yeah. Loyalty, respect.
Okay.
I agree with all that.
Good input.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some.
And that's it?
To provide.
No other qualities of a good man?
There's others, but that one's mainly highlighted. It's at the top, I would say.
Being responsible for your actions, things you do, things you have to take care of.
Responsibility. That's all I know. Responsibility.
Just responsibility?
Yeah, just responsibility.
Sticking to his word and not flaking. And honesty, I guess.
Honesty's a given, respect's a given. Having goals, like being self-oriented, I don't guess I want to say that word. Being focused on himself, I don't think you can be a man for the people you need to be a man for until you've had time to reflect on yourself.
It's a good one. Just to be a gentleman and nice and caring and looking out for everybody else.
I don't think that we should destroy things just for our own wealth, our own success. I don't think we should belittle women just because that's the way guys are, or that's the way we're supposed to be. I think that we should respect everyone, be kind to everyone, be happy about life, be happy about this moment right now. Don't always search for that next rock of coal that you're trying to burn, or that next $1 million skyscraper that you're trying to build. Be happy now.
To be a man means to own up to who you are, own up to your responsibilities, even mistakes, triumphs. Just be held accountable. Be the lead of even your household, is to put it. That's deep. That's all I got.
Learn how to provide for your family, take care of your bills, or whatever it may be. Just to step up to the plate and be responsible and not to lay off the responsibility on someone else.
Putting your best foot forward in everything that you do. Just doing your best.
Back to the men of Avila. What is the most important thing that you've learned while being a man in manhood?
Well, I would say it's okay to cry. But don't ever do it. I'll say it from the angle of being a man in a marriage.
All right.
You're never going to be right, just accept it. That's the best thing I can say. Just accept the fact that you're no longer in charge and be happy with it.
I might have to say probably integrity and honesty. If you have a set of values, a set of criteria that works with people, that puts other people in front of you, you have a way, it's just a way of being able to get through life. If you're always out for yourself and not for anyone else, things just don't seem to work right.
There's a lot of freedom, man. Once you get educated, they can't take that away. Nothing can take that away from you. You can give it up by going to the penitentiary or something like that, or the graveyard, but when you become a man who's your own man, not having to depend on your parents or your woman, your girlfriend, that just changes everything. That changes perspective, that changes your imagination, and it just, you can go anywhere, man. once you open up your mind, you have that knowledge and that wisdom.
That men communicate differently than women do. In business and personal relationships. It's not just a personal thing, it's also in the workplace.
Taking care of the people around you. To do the best you can do, I guess.
I've always found there are two kinds of people in the world. Those who are thankful for what they have and those who always want more. And I would say be the person that's always thankful for what you have. It'll make you a lot happier.
Well, the most important thing I think is you've got to have the skill to problem solve. Now, a lot of times people try to avoid problems because they don't want to confront them. They try to ignore problems because they don't want to deal with them. But if you've got the ability to solve problems, to marshal all of your resources that you have available to you and focus them on solving a problem, I think that goes a long way. Right now, we have a lot of problems before us, and you will have even more. But the willingness and the ability to solve problems is the key. That's the strongest element. And what's life without problems and challenges? Nothing.
You are capable of much more than you think you can achieve. And that by focus and hard work and also doing the right thing, you can be very successful in life and happy as well.
That's it for this issue of the Talon, men's issue. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned something. Once again, my name is CJ Slaughter, and this is the Talon video. See you next time.